Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Security guard gunned down by armed robbers in Portmore. Gunmen shot dead a security guard during a daring daylight robbery at the Public Sector Cooperative Credit Union at Caribbean Estate in Portmore, St. Catherine on Tuesday. The deceased guard is reportedly employed to the Hawkeye Security Company. Another security guard, who is also employed by Hawkeye Security Company, has been hospitalized with a bullet wound to his right leg. The Corporate Communications Unit, the information arm of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, confirmed the robbery but could not disclose whether the robbers absconded with cash. Sources reported that the robbers reportedly stole the firearms of the two security guards. A large contingent of soldiers and police has been scouring the area in search of the robbers who fled the scene of the robbery in a Nissan motor car which reportedly crashed at the intersection of Salt Pond Road and the Spanish Town bypass. Two men shot dead at bar in Boys Content, St. Catherine. Police sleuths are yet to identify a motive behind the shooting death of two men by gunmen in Boys Content near Old Harbour in St. Catherine on Monday. The deceased have been identified as 40-year-old Mason Caron Bailey, alias Kreng Kreng, and 38-year-old Oral Lewis, alias Bally, both of Crawl Pen in Boys Content. Reports are that sometime after 8 p.m., the men were at a bar along the Boys Content main road when a motor car drove up. Armed men alighted from the vehicle and opened fire, hitting both men. The gunmen then made their escape from the scene in the waiting motor car. The wounded men reportedly died at the scene. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. Vaccines gone missing at Cornwall Regional Hospital, probe underway. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has confirmed that an investigation is underway into the circumstances in which a vial with 10 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine went missing from a vaccination site at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James on Monday. The vial was discovered to be missing after standard checks were carried out during the vaccination process, the ministry said in a news release late Tuesday. The ministry said the investigation involves the review of CCTV footage and the policies and procedures at the site. Several members of staff of the Western Regional Health Authority, WRHA, who were assigned to the vaccination site has been reassigned pending the outcome of the investigation, the health ministry said. Additionally, a review is taking place at the circumstances in which 6 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine were accidentally damaged at the Lucy Health Center in Hanover when a vial is believed to have fallen from the hand of a worker who was in the process of returning the vial to a cold storage container. The ministry is also following up on preliminary reports of a vaccination site in Westmoreland where 8 doses fell and broke from a cold storage container that was on a table that collapsed. A built-in component of the COVID-19 vaccination implementation program is periodic audits, which are done the key areas of the program, including personnel, process flow and usage of vaccines. Members of the public can expect to be informed of the findings on an ongoing basis once it has been completed and sent to the coordinating mechanisms built into the program. The ministry added that it wishes to extend its appreciation to healthcare workers who continue to play a valiant role in the rollout of the national vaccination program and reiterated the importance of vigilance among stakeholders when participating in the vaccination process. On Monday, the island received its first batch of AstraZeneca vaccines through the COVAX facility with 14,400 doses. This added to the 50,000 vaccines received as a gift from India a week earlier. Government announces adjustments to island-wide ban on burials. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Desmond Mackenzie has announced an adjustment to the 2-week ban on burials currently in force. This is to allow for the disposal of human remains in specifically prescribed circumstances. Having met with the funeral directors and related stakeholders last week, a number of proposals emerged from those conversations, said Mackenzie. A release from the local government ministry said accordingly, approval has been given for, firstly, the burial or cremation of bodies that are in an advanced state of decomposition. Secondly, the burial or cremation of bodies that are not in an advanced state of decomposition but have been recommended for immediate burial by the appropriate health authorities. And thirdly, the burial or cremation of indigent persons who died in state care. These measures took effect on Saturday, March 13. I want to make it clear that only the clergy will be allowed to administer the final rites for persons who are buried or cremated in these three circumstances. No family gathering will be allowed. The current order prohibiting burials remain in effect, said Mackenzie. The minister also stated that approval has been given to allow families to obtain death certificates for submission to the Registrar General's Department to facilitate preparation for burials once the ban is lifted. What this means is that effective Monday, March 15, the Registrar General's Department will issue burial orders after receiving death certificates so that families and funeral homes can make all the necessary arrangements for the final send-off of the deceased once the ban on burials is lifted. No burials are being authorized by this change. As an additional measure to ensure compliance with the ban on burials, I also want to make it very clear that the municipal corporations will not be issuing interment orders, without which no final disposal of a body can be done. This ban on burials come about because of the total disregard of the COVID-19 protocols at grave sites all over the country, and the connection between this behavior and the spike in cases and hospitalizations. The government will continue to do everything to bring these numbers down and save lives. Minister Mackenzie also indicated that the government is considering additional proposals made by stakeholders in the afterlife industry and commended them for their understanding, strong sense of partnership and cooperation with the administration as it continues to implement the necessary strategies to preserve and promote public health. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.